welcome back. Bruce Porter joins us now for this week's Dollars and Cents segment. Good to see you again, Bruce.
Glad to be here.
All right. We are going to talk again about retirement, but this time some mistakes. Top 3 mistakes that people make pretty often. What are they and how do we avoid them?
These are the top 3 things that I usually recognize when somebody comes in and they've got questions. And you know, the thing that we got to remember, we're talking about your life savings. Now you're 70 years old. This is all the money you've accumulated. We want to try to avoid making a mistake late in life. So let's talk about number 1. The number 1 mistake that I usually see is the unknown. Kind of the Monty Hall thing.
What's
behind door number 1?
Yeah.
And then what's behind door number 2? You're either going to get a prize or you're going to get a wah-wah. You're not going to get anything, right? So that when we're talking about your life savings, we want to try to avoid the unknown. Risk to your life savings, that's the downside that we're talking about. We're talking about what's going to happen if. And that's the thing that we got to watch for. You're unemployed, you're retired, you've elected to say, hey, I'm tired, I want to stay home, I want to adjust my lifestyle. When you have a loss, that creates an uphill battle while you're in retirement. And we want to try to avoid climbing those hills because you've been climbing those hills for 35 years of employment, trying to save money, trying to gain money. So we want to try to avoid that. Now, mistake number 2. The unexpected. No one ever plans to lose money. It's like, hey, let's buy that investment. I think it's going to go down the most.
No,
Nobody ever does that. Variables are just that. They're variable. They can go up, they can go down. Now, if you're young, married, you're working, you've got your life ahead of you, very much encourage people to participate in their 401k. Talk to a good financial advisor. Go into the markets. You can afford some ups and downs to accumulate. That's where you need to be. But if a different scenario, if you're 70 years old, if you're retired early and you want to be conservative, you need to be thinking about that. One thing that has come up, dividends are not guaranteed. So we've got to watch that if we're depending on dividends from a portfolio for our retirement income, we've got to make sure that we watch for that unexpected downside. So now let's look at our example. So now we go to the example, and this is a stock from '07. All right.
This is the real deal.
This is a real deal. A $44 stock that pays a 5.8% dividend.
Sounds great.
Pretty common.
I'll take that, sure.
Pretty common back in '07, all right? Now, let's say this person had $500,000, their entire life savings, and now they're generating $29,000 a year of income.
Great.
That's a good thing. So now birds are singing, everybody's happy. But what happened a year and a half later in March of '09? That stock dropped to $3.81 a share. The dividend dropped to 0.01. The balance, which is another major factor, dropped to $43,000, and the dividend dropped to $453 per year.
A year.
So that affected their income. Now, everybody says, you know, Bruce, it'll come back. It's, you know, the market will recover and things like that. And yeah, you're right. All right. So let's look at it.
In my lifetime, though?
Well,
you don't know.
September of '07, that stock, $15.71 a share, 5.05 dividend. The balance is up to $177,000, and the dividend is $2,200 a year.
Which is better, but it's about 10% of what it was all those years ago. It still bites.
That's the unexpected. The unknown, the unexpected, and now the undone. Mistake number 3 is the undone. It's not recognizing when should I make a change. A small loss, that's something we can stomach. But if you wait to get that small loss repaired before you move your money, that could lead to a larger loss. And now you're dealing with a bigger problem. So now, if you have a lifestyle change, retirement, if that's a lifestyle change, which it is, your portfolio or your investments need to change with you. If you've become more conservative in retirement, you need to be more conservative with money.
That's a good
Never
advice.
try to time the market.
No.